As usual, I'm gonna be reading off of my notes, so I'm not all over the place. But the first holiday self-care tip for a minimalist approach is to prioritize quiet moments. Instead of packing your schedule, allow time for peaceful activities like reading, taking a walk, or just sitting quietly with a cup of tea. So I talk about this quite often too on my channel, where we live in such a fast-paced life, and it's nice to be able to slow down, especially around the holiday season. I do tend to think that people forgot that us humans do need our quiet moments every now and then. Even if you are an extrovert, or if you love talking and love to hear noise, even you need a little bit of quiet moment every now and then in order to feel at peace with yourself. When it came to the holiday season, it's always go, 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 especially if you work at a demanding job, whether it's retail, whether it's a nursing home, the hospital. Those jobs are pretty hectic, amongst others, around the holiday season. And, not to mention the things that you have to do outside of work. Gift wrapping, buying gifts, calling family and friends to see who's coming over, planning a holiday party. It can get pretty hectic. So I suggest you guys to either take some time in your busy schedule. It doesn't have to be an hour or even a half hour. Take 15 or even 5 minutes to yourself, and whether it's meditating, whether it's reading a book, whether it is just being in your car, no social media, just sitting in your car. You can sit back and just relax in pure peacefulness. It can be a little hard to get some of that free time, but try to make it for yourself, because you will feel more clarity when it comes to getting the rest of the holiday done without getting aggravated or having anxiety. Set boundaries. Politely decline events that don't align with your energy or values. This is another thing that I was so afraid to do back in the day. There were some events where I was like, nope, not going, not my type of vibe, I'm good. Again, I do want to tell you guys that I am the biggest introvert there is. So a lot of events just didn't work for me. And if it would involve like talking to a lot of people, being around a lot of people, like, I was good. I did not want to do it. But even with me feeling like that, I still went to some gatherings, and I should have declined politely, because I felt more uncomfortable being at that gathering than me declining it. So if you have a work event coming up that you don't want to go and it's giving you anxiety and making you feel nauseous, politely decline. It's not the end of the world. If you have a family event that you don't want to do or you don't feel like doing, it's not your thing, politely decline. It's more anxiety and more of a blah feeling or down feeling when you go to an event that you wish you would have not gone to. So I'm happy that I learned this one thing. So I do not, at 33 years old, I do not go to events that I just don't want to go to. Whether it's a personal feeling or if I'm sick, like there was times too, like I was super, super sick and I would still go to certain events, even though I just wanted to be home in bed. So I'm happy that I learned to set boundaries, especially at this age, because in my 20s, I would just do what everybody else was telling me to do. And that does not fly with me today. So learning to set boundaries with family members, friends, work colleagues when it comes to, events, especially around the holiday season. Politely declining those events, best thing you can ever do for your mental health and, again, your peacefulness. Simplifying gift giving. So I've been talking about this all last week. When you simplify, your circle, like who are you really giving a gift to? Are you going to focus on your mom, your grandmother, your grandfather, your niece and nephew, your sisters, your brothers? Focus on like immediate family, or the family that, is always around, or the friends that are always around. That will help simplify on who you need to buy a gift for, and also simplify the actual gift. You do not need to give 10 gifts to mom, 20 gifts to grandma, or, 7 gifts to your niece and nephew. No, stop that. Give 1 gift each. You're going to save yourself money. You're going to save yourself time, stress, all the above. Simplify gift giving in a whole, not just the gift you're giving, who you're giving it to, where you're going to buy the gift. You can buy them all, honestly, online these days, where you don't even have to go to the store to pick out something. Another cool thing is you can make some gifts yourself if you are like talented at portrait drawings, or if you're talented at, making certain things, fixing certain things. You can also do that as well instead of spending money on items. Like I said, I talked about this all last week, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, and I don't want to bore you guys to death with this video. But the next thing is mindful consumption. Enjoy holiday food, but be mindful of overeating. I fall for this a lot, and I'm learning to cut back. So I've cut back quite a bit on sweets. I still have a long way to go because it is a sugar addiction. But especially around the holiday season, I would eat and try everything. And by the end of the night, I wanted to throw up. I know, a little graphic, but I just overstuffed myself. I didn't have a mindful consumption when it came to food. I might have a mindful consumption when it comes to material items, but when it came to food around the holidays, I was just eating way too much. Especially when you get to an older age, you have to be very, very mindful on how much food you are consuming. Now, I'm not telling you not to eat anything, but be mindful of the portions, because I wasn't, and I was feeling so sick. Like I'm not a fan of feeling extremely full to the point where you're about to like spend the whole night in the bathroom. That's not my thing. I honestly have to always remind myself, Kira, do you want to feel sick later on? Okay, so maybe just focus on a little bit of carbs, more protein, more veggies, and then you can have 1 or 2 slices of dessert, and that's it. So instead of me overeating, I try to have that mental note in my head like, Kira, you don't have to eat everything that's around. I know this sounds like crazy to add this on this list, but it's true. Around the holiday season, I feel like a lot of us overdo it, not only with the gifts and like the parties, but we overdo it with eating too much junk food, and then we start feeling sick later on, especially for us older people. I feel like kids can get away with this. They can try everything and be perfectly fine. But when you get to your late 20s and your 30s and even older, you have to start thinking of like, what can I eat, or what does my body need? Not like what can I eat, what does my body actually need to feel satisfied and not feel blah after eating food. So, the one thing that's also helped me is to stick with a smaller portion of desserts, because I notice if I have a bigger portion of the desserts that are out, or if I have a big plate of like a variety of desserts, my sugar cravings are going to kick back up and I'm going to want desserts every day. So I stick with one slice of, whether it's pumpkin pie, 1 slice of apple pie. I will just choose which dessert I really want the most, and that's it. I don't keep going back for seconds, especially when it comes to desserts. They're not meant to be like going back and back and back for seconds or thirds. It's not worth it. It's not worth the sugar cravings or the sugar crash later on. Take time away from screens to recharge. Self-explanatory, around the holiday season, when you're at family members' houses, or if you're wrapping gifts, unplug, listen to some music, Christmas music, or music that you like. Unplug and be in the moment. And the last thing is practice gratitude. Say thank you when you receive any type of gift. So even though I live a minimalist lifestyle, there's some family members that still, they don't get it, and that's okay. Like, I'm not here to be preachy, judgy. Like, I'm not here for that. As much as I tell my mom I don't need anything for the holidays, I don't need anything for my birthday, she still finds a way to get me something. And instead of me thinking like, oh, she just doesn't get my lifestyle, I think of it the other way. Like, it is what it is. If she got me something that I don't use, then I can always give it to someone else that will use it. so it's not technically going to waste. But I still say thank you. I'm still extremely grateful for anybody that gives me a gift, even though I'm a minimalist. So if you are a minimalist, or if you are that type of person that just doesn't like receiving gifts, just say thank you. It means so much to that one person. You know, there's people that really, really enjoy giving gifts out, and they love to see the reaction on people's faces, even if it's something you don't use. If it's something from your grandmother or grandfather, like if it's something that you're never going to use or wear, still put a smile on, say thank you. There's always another way to like re-gift that item or donate it. You can deal with that later. Just, you know, be in the moment with that person and show gratitude, because like I said, like the people in your life are not going to be there forever. We're not going to be in this moment forever. So appreciate it while it's here. On that note, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will catch you tomorrow.